Alright guys, so we got done with the Planetary Magick videos there with at least as far as looking at the planets themselves and the energies that they have sway over and are connected to. Well, now we're going to move into a new area, and that area we're going to call that surfing the ecliptic. Okay, so what is the ecliptic? The ecliptic is that line or that path that the planets blaze as they move through the signs of the zodiac. So that's what we're going to look into for this series, and I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back. Now what you see on your screen now is a picture, and that picture depicts the Earth, the celestial northern pole, the celestial southern pole. Blue disk is the ecliptic. Ecliptic in that picture is depicted to be on a 23.5 degree angle. However, that's not the absolute truth, because it is not the ecliptic that's on a 23.5 degree angle. It is our Earth. As we know, the pole is tilted, the northern pole is tilted 23.5 degrees. That's why the northern star never moves. But to give your mind's eye conceptual understanding of what's going on, I chose this picture. Because as you see in that picture, the Earth is straight up and down, north and south. And the ecliptic has been moved to depict the 23.5 degree angle. Now, if we stand on the ground, we don't feel that 23.5 degree tilt that we're on. That's why I chose this picture. Because it's hard sometimes for the mind to grasp something that it does not readily experience. But we experience that we stand straight up and down, and the Earth is up and down and not on a tilt. Along with that, we experience that when the planets move through the Mazzaroth, through the ecliptic, that they do it in an arc. The sun will rise in the east, and it'll arc through the sky, and it'll be at its highest point at meridian in the south, and then it'll set in the west. And then that's another reason why I chose this picture. I'm leaving this picture up here for a few more minutes just so you get your mind's eye in tune with what we're going to be talking about in this lecture series, which is the ecliptic. We're going to surf the ecliptic. And as we surf the ecliptic, we want to understand that the ecliptic is the path that the planets blaze through the sky. And it blazes that path through the sky through the signs of the zodiac. Okay, we've looked at the planets already. Now we're going to look at the signs of the zodiac, or if you prefer to use the word Mazzaroth. So, with that being said, we'll get started, which we already have. Let's consider just a few things before we really get down into the nitty-gritty. And that is this. A, that the planets travel through the ecliptic, and they appear to us here on Earth to do that on a 23.5 degree angle, or arc through the sky. And as those planets arc through the sky, they also move in orbit, if you will, through the signs of the zodiac. Those planets do that in a fashion that the planets do that. And while they do that, they are never truly exactly on the ecliptic. The sun is, but the other planets are in varying degrees above or below the ecliptic. But that varying degree will never exceed 8 degrees from the ecliptic upward, nor will it exceed 8 degrees from the ecliptic southward. Meaning that those planets move through the ecliptic, move through the signs within a 16-degree band, having no more or no less variation at any time than 16 degrees. Which is interesting when you consider Edward Leeds Scallion, the builder of Coral Castle, which not only built Coral Castle back in the 1930s, I believe, I might be off, but he also moved it from its original location to Homestead, Florida. What does this have to do with anything? Well, the coral that he used to build Coral Castle is extremely similar on the cellular level as the stones used to build the pyramids of Egypt, the pyramids of the Sun Temple. So there's something there. And Edward Leeds Scallion understood it, and he utilized it. But another interesting fact is that in his book, A Book in Every Home, he spoke of his Sweet 16. And if you look up videos of Edward Leeds Scallion, you'll find people that talked about him and his quest for his Sweet 16. And a lot of them attribute that Sweet 16 to a girl that he loved in Latvia, which is his country of origin, before he moved to Florida. And that her father forbade them from seeing each other, and so he moved. But I don't think that's the case. And this is why. Because as we just spoke of, the planets travel along the ecliptic through the signs within a 16-degree band. The sun in the center of that ecliptical map, and the planets never with outside of a 16-degree variation of that. And if you know anything about Edward Leeds Scallion, you'll understand that he understood astrology and astronomy in a very high regard. And so therefore, I'm led to believe that when he talks about his Sweet 16, he's talking about the ecliptic. He's talking about the path that the planets blaze through the signs of the zodiac. And so as we surf through the ecliptic, we're going to pass by the signs. There's 12 signs, and the ecliptic is a circle of 360 degrees, and 360 divided by 12 is 30. And that's why we have traditionally 30 days in a month. At any rate, I hope that you'll tune in, subscribe, and enjoy the upcoming video series of Surfing the Ecliptic. From Through the Lattice, sponsored by adastrology.com, I'm Frater Atah, and I bid you a good day, namaste, or whatever you need to hear from me to let you know that I see you.